What's up, guys? This is episode 2 officially now of the Get Much Higher podcast. It's just gonna be us kicking it, just hanging out. We're gonna have some cool conversations. What's up, Alex?
Nothing much,
what's
man.
going on, buddy?
We're actually finally filming this again after fucking last time. You guys probably saw the bloopers, and that was an adventure of kinds.
That was after some serious stuff, man. That was after some
stuff. Yeah.
So we went through some emotional damage there first, and then we tried to dive into a podcast. We had so much fun that it wasn't even, I don't even think a real podcast. Well, it didn't end up being a real podcast, and luckily we ran out of memory space.
Yeah. I wouldn't say luckily, but for the
I think that
part.
saved us.
Yeah, but okay, before we fucking get too off track though, I really want to talk about the fucking. We were just talking about ghost stories.
Yeah, just before we started recording, we were having a pretty intense conversation, getting set up. Alex has had some cool. You've had some cool stories.
Yeah,
as far as
you have to go first though. Fucking
spiritual stuff.
This isn't just like ghosts in general, I guess, because yours had like an orb of some
supernatural.
kind. Yeah, supernatural. But you saw like an orb, not even like the fucking, like I forget what, like a figure ghost is called, but like an apparition. Like
you call it apparition.
Yeah, most people see like apparitions, but you saw like a ball of light or something. It's dope.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't necessarily a ball of light. So, story goes, this is after my grandmother died. I was probably like in grade 7 at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Grade 6, probably going into grade 7. And there was a bunch of people over at my house, so I wasn't the only person who witnessed it. There were some ladies in the kitchen. If you're Hindu or Fijian, you know that when somebody passes away, like you probably don't know, but when somebody passes away, there's about like 2 weeks of like hardcore rituals and services being done at home.
Mm.
And it's day and night pretty much.
Shit.
It's every night, and then you prepare for it during the day, like every day for like 2 weeks.
It's a lot of time, man.
13 days, yeah, including a funeral and things like that as well. So this particular day, it's probably like the spring, so it wasn't necessarily a windy day or anything like that. One thing that we do is we do have services and like tons of people coming over. It's just like tradition that everyone sits on the floor, you know, like Indian style.
Yeah.
You know, on the floor with your legs crossed, that kind of thing.
Like
so
this,
pretty much like you, but on the floor. And
not on a couch.
Not on a couch, because we get rid of all the couches and we make space for everyone to sit on the floor. So this particular time, I mean, anytime people are sitting on the floor, we always put down like blankets, something better than rug to sit on. So we had this blanket laid out in the middle of the room. No one's on it. I'm sitting with my back against the wall, next to a window, about 2 feet or 3 feet away from this blanket. And me and like a grandmother type person or great aunt, I guess it would be, was like there as well. And basically what we started to see was this little bubble come up in between or underneath the sheet. And just kind of like for about a minute and a half, it just kind of like moved around. And
like under the carpet?
Not under the carpet, on the carpet underneath this blanket. It was like a really thin like bed sheet kind of blanket. And underneath there was just like this little small bubble, kind of like this microphone. And
so a blue snowball microphone. I'm really curious. The way ball.
Yeah, and it just moved around and like deflated a couple times and like popped back up. And like we didn't touch it because initially it's like, oh, it's superstition, don't touch it, right? Like older people might take it as an actual experience or something like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't this little guy, but it looked like maybe it could have been a rat or a rabbit or something.
Really cool if it was actually a rabbit though.
He wasn't around then, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience. It didn't really spook me out so much as interested me and kept me curious. And you know, when you're a little bit younger, you want to believe that kind of stuff is real. Like I did see an orb, and it was an energy that moved around, and that's, I don't know, it could have been, could not have been. Memory always gets hazy, always gets fucked up over time.
Memory has a tendency to like over exaggerate at times. Like I totally get that.
Yeah, but definitely that was the story at the time, and that was you know, was what we remembered, and couldn't explain it because eventually I'm being that age, I'm curious as fuck, so I did pick up the blanket eventually, in case you're wondering, and there's nothing there, obviously. I was just, this would not be a story.
Terrifying if it was like a face under there.
It would be. It would have been fucking cool. It would have made my day, that's for sure.
It would have scared the fuck out of you. don't even fit.
Grade 7 me would not have been as scared.
Yeah.
Now me, I'd probably be freaked out by that and like understand like the magnitude of that. Mm-hmm. But at grade 7 me, I knew everything. I was so cool. What the fuck are you talking about? Like that was awesome.
Man. Okay, I won't happen.
Grade 7 you would think it's awesome too.
Okay, whatever, man. Okay. I'm sorry for like questioning you at times. Like,
it's okay, man. These things do happen.
But so my main ghost story to tell was like one that I didn't experience, but it was like right after my grandma died, but I didn't get to like see her before I was born. Wait, it didn't make any sense.
So you never met your grandma?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And after I was born, my parents went to France for some shit to go see like a gypsy, like spiritual lady.
Like a fortune teller kind of?
Yeah, like a fortune teller kind of, but like for the afterlife more than anything. I don't know what it's called. It was called something. And the second they walked in there, in like a completely different country, the girl just said like straight up, like the second my dad walked in, she goes, your mom sits and plays with your kids every day, or something like that. And like zero way she could tell what's happening, and like that she even had a kid. I think she actually said with your son, but like something, but yeah, and then
meaning you.
Yeah, exactly. And then like with no way that knowing that, and then she starts also saying like a bunch of inside jokes that my grandpa had, and, like my grandpa's like best friend had when my grandpa's friend died, but that was on my mom's side of the family, not my dad's. So it's like completely switching sides of the family and going back even further, like. And it's like shit that like they don't even talk about. Like, whoa. Yeah, it was crazy, man.
That kind of inside joke stuff is like interesting as fuck, because like I think we were talking about it before. Like those kind of people know how to read people. They know how to just say like, "Oh, you got cat fur on your leg." Like, did you recently have a pet that passed away or something like that?
Yeah, but to
like,
be able to just straight up call out a fucking inside joke from like 20 years ago, we haven't referenced in maybe 10 years. And like, yeah, in a different country, there's no way that's coincidence. Or like
that's interesting as fuck.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty cool. That would mind boggle me for a long time and make me believe some serious shit that ever happened to me.
That like
that's kind of why I don't go to those people.
Yeah, I want to fucking go to somebody like that with you, and we can just find out gnarly shit about ourselves.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that.
We should do DMT first.
No, we won't need any of that if we did DMT.
True. What if we did both at the same time? How awful would that be?
One of the two would be devalued. I know that. One of the two, like something has to go. Something has to give in that situation. Like something has to not work. Because I don't know. To me, like one is you're actually diving in yourself, but you're letting somebody else do it.
The rabbit's trying to jump on the camera.
He's trying to be the director here.
Oh my god, guys! You can't see this, but we have a very cute rabbit. Just always gone. He's fucking gone. So what were we saying?
Well, it's just like one is like you're diving in within yourself in DMT, and no one else is experiencing it except for you. Mm-hmm. And it's a very internal experience, and you're diving deep into your consciousness, right? And then with the fortune teller, it's like somebody else, looking and kind of examining you. Mm-hmm. and divulging the information to you. So it'd be like a trippy experience. Like one of the two will not be,
Yeah, that's true.
Like your DMT experience probably won't match what that person is telling you. Or it'd be interesting if it did actually, or maybe right after.
At the same time, though, with the documentary on doing DMT, the guy when they go into it for it's like a 15-minute high, right? And when you go into it, it's like you get it's like fucking. It actually is like you're jumping into it, and you get the roller coaster feeling in your stomach and shit. So I guess you physically couldn't experience two at the same time. Yeah,
but maybe you go see like one of those types of people first, or immediately after that trip.
Would you remember though, or would you be focusing really hard on like you'd be focusing super hard on the shit about you just find out about ghosts and then walking into the DMT high?
Well, it'd be I don't know, I've never done DMT. Maybe
we're going super in depth on.
But it be in your subconscious, right? Once you experience something, whether you remember it or not, it's in your subconscious.
That's completely true. Right? Yeah.
I think I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Why don't you give a 5-paragraph description of the subconscious and where it's located?
Just like any essay I've ever written, I have no idea where the fuck to start.
Exactly. It's not getting into it.
That's just not.
That'd be incredible, bro.
I did have another story. I don't think I told you.
Oh, really?
Or might have mentioned it in the past. I'm not sure.
Okay, let's hear it.
Just one particular night, I had a tough time sleeping. That's okay. He's being rowdy. Mm-hmm. this one particular night when I was a kid, probably like a couple years after that first story I told you. I was in my old house, and for whatever reason, I just didn't have a good night of sleep. I got up randomly in the middle of the night to go to the fridge to get, I don't know, juice, water, whatever the fuck anyone would grab, right? And then I just didn't remember getting back into my bed for whatever reason. I'm not a sleepwalker or anything like that. I'm actually, most nights I have a pretty good sleep. I don't usually wake up and do things like that. So I did not remember. I don't know, because it could have been pretty tired. I can't explain it, but I just didn't remember getting back into bed, and that's my story. No, I'm just joking.
I definitely remember the first part.
That'd be lame as fuck. That was my story. No, like, I don't know. I just got back into bed, didn't really remember how, and fell back asleep. And then the next thing I remember was just feeling like distinctly hands and fingers on my chest pushing down on me. Almost like it's like, putting a body's weight on top of me and just like gradually more.
That's fucking crazy. I feel like I've definitely had experiences like that too, with like just like touching on my leg or something. But like, our bodies work to know when there's something touching us or when a fucking hand is touching us.
Like a living being.
Yeah, you just know, man. Like,
yeah, like I definitely had the feeling and the rush of like, it could have been a living being or something that resembled one touching me and putting its weight on me, and just got up, obviously, because you panic in the moment, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, start pushing things off of you. And I almost, like, memory is another one of those things, right? Like, again, memory, you tend to over exaggerate things, and honestly, memory is a motherfucker. Like, like, people remember things sometimes about me and tell me stories about me, and I'm like, no, that didn't happen.
Really?
Oh yeah, like you never get that where people are like, remember that time?
Okay, yeah, from, like, elementary school.
Yeah, it's just like that did not happen like that. Like it was somebody else, but in that person's mind, it's burned into the memory that it was you. So memory is a motherfucker. Let's make no mistake.
That's true.
Like
I completely understand what you're talking about at first, but yeah.
Yeah. So, So like I definitely felt something, or my memory tells me I definitely felt something pushed down on me, and I pushed up against it, and after that I just kind of passed out. And it was a weird experience, and I fully remember that in the morning, but I did not fuck up my sleep after that. I had a great sleep after that.
Like, you didn't go to sleep scared or anything? Like,
I don't remember.
Wake up feeling like creepy? Probably.
This is like cocky me, right?
Oh, okay.
This is like probably grade 8.
Oh, no.
You know everything when you're in grade 8, right?
True.
So nothing freaks you out so much.
We're not grade 8, grade 7.
Grade 7, grade 8.
Grade 8's when you're like the first year in high school.
Yeah, but but you're so cool in grade 8, right? Like grade 8. Up until like grade 9 or 10, I had like a piece of shit attitude, probably. Like I was smart and...
I was a quiet kid till grade 10, and then I turned into like...
Big Goofy?
I turned into Big Goofy. And I tore shit up. But like,
doing rocker tokes?
Yeah.
In the girls' bathroom?
No. Not at all.
Did you ever go into the girls' bathroom in high school?
No, never. Did you? Was that something you did? Probably.
Yeah. So that's something that I would have done.
Really?
Like, definitely grade 7.
Grade 7 is in high school.
Whatever. Junior high for some people.
Did you go to secondary school?
Yeah.
I never had a secondary school. I was straight out of elementary school into high school.
No, wait, no. That's what we just called our high school secondary school.
Oh, okay. Some people go to secondary school and then high school.
Like a junior high kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, was that a thing?
Not in my school district, but I know in other school districts, yeah. It was like, grade 7, 8, and 9 is called middle school or junior high.
How different would that be living in a fucking, like stricter age group in comparison to just regular high school, like only being with people 1 year older or younger?
It'd be cool, I think, like, because it'd be a smaller school, like everyone would know everybody, everyone would probably be cooler with each other.
Drama would be fucking wild though, and there'd be so much.
I think people generally would be nicer though in a small school.
Everybody fighting over girls, fighting over guys, like smaller parties, everybody's always fucking out drunk, like I don't know.
I just like, I always think that like smaller communities are better. Like you come from a small town.
Yeah.
Was there lots of like, issues between people, or like generally people are nice to each other, right?
Yeah, but there was also like a lot of drama. Like small town drama is a fucking thing.
Okay.
Like it's
Speaking of small town drama, I remember watching this show one time. It was like a made-for-TV movie series. Like, you know, those like short series. There's like 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was called, but what it ended up being was it's kind of like a plot of a movie that I can't remember right now. Wow. But what it ended up being was like cops came from like another town. Mm-hmm. I think it was like Shaun of the Dead.
I've never heard of that.
Like, not Dawn of the Dead. It was like, you know, that Michael Pegg guy.
No. Sounds like a stand-up guy, but no.
He's like a British comedian kind of guy.
Oh.
Him and his, like, you know that Alien movie where like Seth Rogen was playing this little alien.
I've never watched that, but I really want to. It's on Netflix.
Those 2 guys.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys. I think one of them is named Michael Pegg. I wish, man. Like today, we're getting an intern soon. He's coming over from some other country. I can't remember.
He was in the bloopers. Like, if you watch the last album review.
Yeah, he's just off today.
Yeah. Oh my God, Ghost. Oh no, it's a rabbit.
That's a rabbit.
Wow, that scared the fuck out of me.
Simon Pegg? I don't know. Whatever, man.
Simon Cowell. No, I'm joking. I don't know, man.
But it was like, I think it was like that Shaun of the Dead.
It's not the same guy that fucking Seth. Wait, what's his name?
Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen is always in movies with. Is he
No.
the guy from the Green Goblin? No.
No.
That would have been cool.
Green Goblin, the Green Hornet.
Yeah, Green. Is it Green Hornet?
Yeah.
What? Really? Who was the Green Goblin was his dad.
No, the Green Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen's friend that he's always in movies with.
Seth Rogen's friend that he's always in movies with? Judd Apatow? No, Judd Apatow's the director.
No, he's in the interview.
Oh, James Franco.
Yes.
James Franco, the one that we made the Bound 2 parody with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were in like they.
Oh, that guy is the Green Goblin. Seth Rogen was the Green. He was in the Green Hornet. I think he was. I don't know. That was a shitty movie though. But anyways, this is a dope show. What you were saying reminded me of. It was like this miniseries, and it was like these people in this small town, this village in England. They had like these cops or whatever come from like a bigger town, like London or something like that, and like came there and like ended up working there. But then, you know, and there's apparently no crime in this town, in this village. Where it was like a perfect town, and the mayor was like super like standoffish, and everyone there was like super standoffish about like newcomers and stuff like that, and they were like had no crime, and that's what they were known for. But really, there was so much crime, and they just really cared so much about the city's image or the town's image that they were like killing and eating people.
What?
Yeah.
Eating people?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they were eating people in the show.
Man, I want to watch that show. That sounds gnarly.
They never actually showed you eating human flesh, but you know what I mean.
But like, it was known they did that.
That's what they end up finding out at the end. And that's why like they were so standoffish and like hating on these new cops that came in to the force, and then and they were just like really, they like from the get-go thought like something was fucked up, like something's messed up with this place, like something's wrong, we need to like investigate more. And then they did some snooping around, and they found out like they were all in and on together, and like if somebody was giving the town a bad name and things like that, they would like kill them and like eat them or some shit.
Man, I feel like I'll totally watch that.
There's a movie like that too.
Is that the movie with the British guy who was on Top Gear? I feel like fucking Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz!
Yeah! That's one of my favorite movies ever.
I love that movie.
Like, this was so fucking familiar.
Dude, we gotta watch that movie.
Man,
together.
Hot Fuzz is probably like my second favorite movie
Hot
ever.
Fuzz, this is like, Hot Fuzz is like the comedy movie version.
Yeah.
This show that I'm talking about was like a 4 or 5 part series.
Oh, okay.
On like BBC or something like that.
Fuck.
And it was like, it was a drama.
That's dope, but that movie Hot Fuzz is like my second favorite movie ever.
I love the part in Hot Fuzz where he comes out and he's got all these fucking guns and he shoots the priest. Remember that part?
Yeah.
He shoots the priest in the foot and the priest is like swearing and shit.
Yeah.
That was classic. That was comedy gold.
My favorite one's the fucking annoying broad is in the car, I think, or she's on a bike. And she gets her head cut off.
Yeah.
That was fucking gnarly.
I love the fact that he had all those guns, because I know in England, like, it's impossible to find guns.
Yeah, really.
It's
well, not impossible, but like not like American
style.
Fucking
It's carrying guns like it was going out of style.
Have you ever seen The Great Escape? It's a super old movie about fucking escaping prisoner of war camps in World War One, I think.
I haven't seen it.
It's like an actual historical event, and it's like a super old movie. Like, it's a classic. And me and my like entire family watches that every Christmas as a Christmas edition. My dad's done that since he was like really young.
Oh wow!
As a kid. And it's like it's got some like actors that you still see around in it actually. Fucking, have you ever watched NCIS?
Yeah.
Do you know Ducky?
Not enough to know Ducky.
Oh, do you remember what the characters look like?
Somewhat.
Never mind. I don't think it's gonna work.
Does it look like Cassius?
Yeah, exactly like Cassius. Actually, they're all just rabbits. I forgot to leave that part out. Like, how old is this, by the way? How old is this? How old is Cassius?
You know what? When we got him, I think he was a couple months old. They didn't really know. Because rabbits fuck like rabbits.
Wait, they do?
Yeah. Wow. Turns out. And they have tons of babies. So, yeah. He's a bit of a bastard, but...
He always tries to bang the other one, man.
He always tries to bang anything.
It's incredible.
Like, incredible. Like, dude, like, they're both guys, too. That's the fucked up part.
Guys?
They're both guys.
I had a cat that fucked one of my rabbits.
Yeah?
And no, a rabbit that fucked one of my cats, sorry.
Yeah, rabbits will fuck anything that moves.
That's crazy. But the cat was okay with it, though. And, like, they were both guys, too. And the cat would just chill.
Yeah, like, the other rabbit was totally okay with it.
Did the other rabbit know what was happening?
Oh, yeah. Because it's weird. It's like a territorial thing. Like, if Cassius goes over to their house, to that rabbit's hood, that rabbit is, like, the dominant one.
Really?
That rabbit does the fucking.
That's so weird, man.
With this one, coming over to this hood, it's his territory. It's his domain.
But this rabbit gets fucked all the time.
When he's there.
I don't like that.
But they're down. Like, I think they're just down for that shit. Like, I think they just... Like, they're animals that normally in the wild, they don't live very long. You know, they get eaten up by, like, a raccoon or a fox.
So they're built to make a lot of babies.
Or a cat. Like, they have to. For their fucking very existence. Oh. He wants to go back in the cage.
Hi.
Oh, he needs to. Grab him because he's probably going to take a shit or take a piss.
Hi. You take him? I have no idea how.
It gets all scratchy.
Oh no. That's all you to get. Bam, 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 bam. So tell me, how's your cold?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting kind of warm. Might be a fever. Stay away though.
I feel like I'm definitely gonna get sick.
This is not good.
And like, I don't want to miss school, but I don't know. Like, as long as we don't miss on Friday. Hey, Friday night, not Friday night, Friday morning, if you're up at 9 a.m. for some fucking reason, you check out Mixlr/Manarts because me and him are hosting for Mandel 12. Yeah.
Yeah, it's be dope.
It's gonna be. Do we know what we're talking about yet? Because we have to get some topics at some point.
I don't know. We did fine last time.
Yeah, I guess. What did we even do?
We just cracked jokes.
Did we? No, I cracked like one joke. Other than that, we were like, we were fucking like going at each other.
Yeah, we were just having a good time.
What was your fucking? Like, I was like, what was OB? What did you say? I was like, what does OB mean?
You told a fake joke about your ex-girlfriend or something like that.
No, you said a fake joke about my ex-girlfriend.
No, earlier you said a joke about having an ex-girlfriend that told you that you should split up so you can cover more ground. You know that.
Oh yeah,
joke.
fucking I made a detective joke. I was like fucking. My girlfriend hates it when I pretend to be a detective. She said we need to split up. I said that's perfect so we can cover more ground.
Yeah. And then after you're like, what does OB mean?
Yeah.
And then I can tell you guys what OB really means if you really want to know. But now I'm going by OB sometimes. O.B, not to be confused with OBIE, like Obi Trice. But
real name no get mixed.
Yeah, real name no get mixed. And well, what I said was like OB. That's what your ex-girlfriend used to say. Your ex-girlfriend used to always say, "Oh Brandon, oh Brandon." So we just cut it down to OB. Sex joke. Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Well, this is not bragging about his fucking girlfriend.
I'm not bragging about
shit. Making fun of other people's exes. Let me tell you.
It wasn't your real ex. That's why it was.
That's
cool.
also true.
Hey, I like totally confirmed with you if that was cool.
Yeah.
Before we did that,
of course.
And you're like,
your beard looks a lot larger when I sit next to you.
Opposed to
like honestly, I was down like
opposed
this.
to when I'm behind you.
Apologize.
No, I'm just joking. I apologize.
What was I even saying? Joke. I forgot now.
You're making fun of me about how I have a girlfriend.
It's not making your girlfriend's a nice lady.
She is nice.
She drove me around with you that one night, just like at the most inconvenient time, and just like was an all-star about it. Like Very nice lady.
Well, I think we all just wanted to take part in that activity.
Maybe, possibly. It was not a three-way, guys. I know what you're thinking.
There was Calvin the intern was actually there too.
Calvin the intern was there. No, he was not. Was he there?
Yeah, he was.
What? Oh yeah.
That was his orientation.
I remember that. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. To anybody that hasn't seen Calvin the intern yet, really, you should check out that last album. Really.
Yeah. Don't watch this video. Watch the previous video.
Yeah. Just exit off now. What albums are you excited for right now?
Coming out? I'm so excited about the documentary 2 because documentary 1 is one of my favorite albums. I can go pick it up. It's right over there. I can show you, but I'd rather not. Or you can.
I'm calling you out.
Yeah, I got it. It should be right there. Should be the white one. Awesome story about that album. That album also holds a lot of sentimental value to me.
Ludacris, Lil Jon, East Side Boys, Trunk Juice, College Dropout, The Game documentary. There we go. What else we have? R. Kelly and Jay-Z. Man, this is dope.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Comes with the DVD.
I've never seen the physical.
The actual documentary is in there too.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I got this when it first came out. I didn't get this.
What's that?
One of my favorite albums of all time. And yeah, I got the College Dropout too. One of my favorite albums. I got more CDs upstairs. My girlfriend has some CDs at her place.
I just got the Carter 3, and that was pretty dope.
Oh, cool.
Like, Carter 3 has always been one of my favorite albums, but like I never got the physical copy. And that's something that like I want to start getting into now. Is like get all my favorite albums from like iTunes or whatever.
Yeah, I like having the physical. Like, I don't know, something official about that. It's like you have the music.
I wish I had a record player these days where you get vinyls and shit. But like vinyls,
I got a record player right there.
Vinyls are more expensive usually though.
Yeah.
Like they for a reason though. Like the sound quality is better. Fucking. Yeah. I was talking to Keen about it.
Cayenne,
not Keenan. Cayenne.
Yeah, Scott was talking about one time too.
Yeah. Like yes, it was Scott. It was saying like
it's just analog.
It's fucking record players like that.
Yeah. And
fucking MP3 or no WAV.
Wave or MP3
is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more hard offs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That means nothing to anybody sitting at home watching this, but analog just means it's better.
Yeah. Whatever that means.
Whatever analog means.
Whatever you say, man.
Yeah. Whatever, man. Anyways,
let's talk about wrestling.
Yeah, you enjoyed it, didn't you?
Like a few matches, yeah. Actually, most of the matches. First of all, the Paige babe was like a dime.
Yeah.
I don't know what took me so long to say that. I'm really thinking about her for a second there.
Paige from WWE. She's British. You're British. I see the attraction.
The Chris Jericho thing was pretty dope.
Chris Jericho made a comeback.
He didn't win though. That sucked. Dudley Boys was cool. They're back. I like that. Especially seeing as they're like fighting the exact same. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know if I can get completely back into it yet. Like the only reason I stopped watching it in the first place was mostly just because of my favorite guys left, and I couldn't move on to any of the new guys. Like I was in John Morrison, Bobby Lashley, Mr. Kennedy, and then like
they were all gone. Yeah, there's a thing like there is such a thing as having like like an attachment to characters. So I totally get that. Like you're not attached to any of these characters. Like you're not fully behind them. And you did watch like a house show. Like, that normally would not be televised. That normally would just be considered a house show, meaning only the people at the house would see it. It'd be like, you have to get a ticket to go and actually see that.
Yeah, so it's like a bonus thing.
Yeah, so it's just like the fact that Brock Lesnar was going to be on the card because it's in Madison Square Garden. Like WWE and Madison Square Garden have this like, you can't have Madison Square Garden without WWE in its history because that's like as far as I know, like WWE used to be there like once or twice a month. Wow. Every month when it was just a regional promotion, meaning that they were just in like Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Baltimore, New York, like that northeast kind of territory. And they were in Madison Square Garden like all the time, selling it out with like guys like Bruno Sammartino back in the 60s and 70s. Guys like Iron Sheik used to wrestle there all the time. Bob Backlund. Those guys would sell it out.
Like a lot of names that I don't know, but I do know Iron Sheik.
They are legends.
That's really cool.
Of the business, yeah.
You know a lot more than I do.
Old school wrestling, yeah.
ACW was my favorite one, like part or like section or whatever you want to call it. Like I like Rob Van Dam, Johnny Nitro, fucking Bobby Lashley. Like,
but you're a fan of like the WWE version of ECW.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, no, the fucking other one too. I think WWE was like Sabu and like them. Right?
Well, they all came back.
Oh yeah, I watched that one too.
Like the old ECW was, I think they started in like '93, and then ended in somewhere 2001 probably when they went out of business.
I've definitely seen some of those matches.
Yeah, they definitely like promote a lot of DVDs and stuff about all those guys. Like Paul Heyman was the guy who started ECW, and he brought in all these talents from all over the world.
And he's like Brock Lesnar's bitch, right?
He's
not bitch. He's like a really nice guy. But
he's his representative, or what does he call himself? His something like that. His associate, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's not technically his manager, but he is his representative, or his basically his bitch. But Paul Heyman's a legend as far as what he does. Paul Heyman, has started working in the wrestling industry from age 13.
That's fucking
gnarly. He worked for not Vince McMahon, but Vince McMahon's dad.
That's crazy. I like that a lot.
Yeah, getting paid cash money, taking photos of the wrestlers. He was small enough to get up there and take good pictures. Up next to the ring. And used to sell it to the WWE.
I did not know that. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah. When he was like 12 or 13 years old, he started and there's like a DVD on Paul Heyman, or like a special you can watch about Paul Heyman. Probably find it on YouTube. It's pretty cool. Like from age like 12, he started like a little like wrestling magazine of himself.
That's fucking cool, man.
And
a lot of people don't see that nowadays. They're watching it probably. Like I've never heard that, and I did watch wrestling for quite a bit. Like that's really fucking cool.
Yeah,
actually.
his whole life is dedicated to pro wrestling and that whole industry.
And like he's so comfortable with having such like a weird role. Like it's a great character, I think at least. But like it's a weird one. It'd be like a weird way for people to like think of you 24/7. Like it's cool that's like his final form almost. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, like he's been in every facet. He's been a performer, right? I don't think he's ever been like an actual wrestler, but he's been a performer. He's mainly been like a behind the scenes guy, like writing, because he's very good, very smart when it comes to booking matches, and say like, this makes sense. Like this guy will win this match instead of this guy, because everyone knows wrestling is predetermined and scripted. He's very smart when it comes to that and promoting.
How much? I need to switch up the question for a second.
Yeah.
How much of it is scripted?
100%. Well,
because
wait.
Sometimes they talk to each other when they're doing it though, and like obviously what they're gonna do.
So it's like it's scripted like to many degrees, right? Like to the most involvement you'll have with the script like ever is everything a wrestler says and does can be scripted. Can be. That's if they're not trusted, with saying whatever they actually want to say.
Yeah, so they start writing scripts for them because they're not. Okay, that makes sense.
Because they're not, equipped to come up with something good enough to say, or not comfortable enough on the mic.
You have to prove yourself.
Kind of, yeah. Okay. Or like if you don't really have much to offer, right? So you can definitely tell when somebody's reading off of a teleprompter. Like we've done it. Yeah. In our broadcasting school, true. Like you can tell when like they're dead behind the eyes and they're reading. You know what I mean? And like. You can just tell when somebody like fucks up something that's reading. It doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound like you're actually talking to somebody. So like there's definitely guys who have everything that they say is scripted. Everything that they wear, everything that they do is completely somebody else's idea or a team of people's idea that is for their character. But there's some people, and I think the best of the best, all of the best of the best, come up with their own characters, or to some degree come up with their own persona. And come up with their own promos, which is a huge part of it, come up with their own matches. Now, as far as the scripting side, as far as the matches go and what the finish of the match usually is scripted, like, well ahead of time. Like, for example, WrestleMania, John Cena will win that match. Like, you know what I mean? And they might even know that 6 months to a year before that match even happens. That doesn't mean they're not going to change it last minute, because they definitely have.
Like they'll have it set up and planned.
For example... Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. A couple years ago, WrestleMania. Up until 6 hours before the show started, Undertaker was going to win that match.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that. And they just switched it up because they didn't like the story.
It was just like, add something here and let's go in a different direction in the future. And Brock was the right guy to do it, according to Vince McMahon. He was, the guy to look. other than Brock Lesnar, who are you gonna believe beating the Undertaker at WrestleMania? Like it was such an infamous streak. Like it has to be somebody worth it, right?
Yeah.
To drop that too. So for example, that they definitely do change, but the finishes of the match are definitely scripted, 100% of the time. They may change it or whatever, but the matches themselves sometimes they're fully scripted before the show.
Like every single move, and they just have to memorize.
Sometimes, yes.
That'd be so like I'd actually give credit to people that are doing that. Like that's pretty fucking gnarly to be able to memorize every single move.
Yeah, like sometimes that's the way it's done. Some guys don't like doing that. Again, like most of the best freestyle it to some degree. Like like they go out there and then they have this idea of like certain things that they have to do. Yeah. Certain spots is what they call it. Like like for example today we watched like. Watch that match. Yeah, it was like the John Cena,
steel cage,
Seth Rollins, and the steel cage. Like there was certain spots that were supposed to happen.
Yeah, like climbing up to the cage, like on the top of the cage, and like trying to get through the door and shit.
Trying to get through the door, and then Seth Rollins comes from the top.
Yeah,
and then kicks the door closed and smokes Cena in the face. Like that was a spot that they predetermined and pre-planned. But each step of the way, the best guys I think call it in the ring. Guys like Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart.
Probably Triple H and John Cena.
Oh, Triple H. I don't think John Cena calls his own matches.
Really?
I don't think he does.
I don't like that. It really upsets me.
Usually it's the bad guys that call the matches.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. Because
so, like, usually... that almost makes me hope that John Morrison did that. Because he had some fucking...
He probably did a lot of the times call the matches, yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely CM Punk.
Who do you think are the top 5 most underrated people from wrestling that I will have watched?
I still think CM Punk was underrated.
Yeah. Just
because I think he deserved to have the whole company on his back. At least main event WrestleMania one time. Which, if you don't know, WrestleMania was like their Super Bowl every year. That guy worked his ass off. He had come up with like the best character for himself. He had an amazing look. He wasn't much for muscles and things like that as far as body. But he made up for it.
He was always like the guy on like the sick tights that just like had drug-free knuckles.
Yeah.
Before he got like really loud and obnoxious about it.
Yeah.
And like he was just like a chill guy that like was really good at what he did.
He was very good at what he did. Very good on the mic. Very good in ring. Very good professional inside the ring. Took the
title from my favorite at the time.
John Morrison.
Was really upset.
Took the
that
ECW
was
title.
Johnny Nitro though.
Yeah, he was still Johnny Nitro. Yeah, that was pretty cool when he made that switch to John Morrison, though.
Yeah.
His entrance, like, he had the slow-mo entrance with the hair, the glasses, the fucking abs.
And then he had the fucking talk show with The Miz. When they were, like,
the podcast.
They were the first, like, tag team to have that specific world tag, those, like, specific...
And that was a podcast that inspired you to want to... No, just joking.
Man, it might have been.
It might have been, was it?
Well, it was probably the first podcast I watched, if you think about it. And all my favorite wrestlers were, like... social media based, kind of like Mr. Kennedy was on the mic and like being charismatic and stealing people's moves. Yeah. And then fucking Bobby Lashley was like, he talked on the mic more than anything. He was just fucking cool. He had the spear and the fucking flippy thing. Oh my god. But
he was an athletic beast.
But come to think of it, me wanting to do broadcasting might have originated from fucking wrestling.
Wow.
And that was when I was like, and that started when I was like first moved here when I was like 13 probably.
That's fucking cool actually.
But like I didn't like I've been out of wrestling for a very long time now. Like not a very long time, but like since like John Morrison left.
Yeah, I probably didn't watch wrestling for a good 2 years up until this WrestleMania. Like WrestleMania 31. Simply for the fact that I was house sitting my cousin's place and they were at WrestleMania. They recorded it. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch it. I'm gonna spare this Sunday and watch WrestleMania, and that hooked me back in. I was like, whoa, this is. Like, the product has, I think, gotten shittier since I left it.
Yeah, I would say that too. But, like, I don't know. Yeah. But it's still interesting because they are switching it up. Me and my friend Travis used to, like, we went through phases of, like, watching it and not watching it. Basically, just whenever our free guys were there, we watched them, and if they were on injuries, we weren't. So we take, like, 6-month breaks of watching it for 6 months. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then we went, like, 2 years without it, a year on, and then, like, 4 or 5 years without it.
That's specific, bro.
I know, but like I have a really good memory for shit like that.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just got away from it after they started making CM Punk look like an idiot and just not doing anything exciting or featuring his talents as much as they should have been. And then guys like Mr. Kennedy left, and then what am I moving?
I don't know, I'm making something tick and it's just bothering my ear.
Oh, okay. Sorry, buddy.
Just don't let it happen again.
I won't, but you know what? These things happen, as you always say.
I guess, yes, these things happen. Why do bad things happen to mediocre people? We'll never know. So I guess you're saying something.
I like the sweater, by the way.
Thank you, man. It's a crew neck.
Whatever,
Don't
man.
get a sweater. It's a fucking sweater. But,
I always bug you about this. I always bug you about overclassifying things.
Let me try and think about. I can't remember what label this is. Empire. Is it Empire?
Yeah.
Shouts to Empire. Making dope sweaters.
Making dope sweaters, man. Shoutouts to I think Champs or Foot Locker for making this dope ass V-neck T-shirt.
It says Salvation Army.
Shut up.
Joking.
Is there anything on it?
No, there's nothing on there.
It's one of those like buy 5 for $20.
It's like a fucking black light. So they get to use that to see the label on the back. It's a black light. And
you'll find a lot more.
All the
You'll find a lot more with the black light. I'll tell you that much for sure.
You do not need to know that. I'm really intrigued by this, by the way. Like you.
Yeah, it's dope. I'm actually going to tell a story about this album, the sentimental value it has to me. I got it on my birthday in grade 7 from my best friend in elementary school, like my oldest friend. Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, he got it for me for my birthday. It was awesome. Gave it to me at basketball practice. I remember that.
And he probably just bumped it like every day since then.
Yeah, pretty hard.
Not since then, but like at the time, probably bumped it like a lot. Which one's the documentary? Which one's the thing?
This is
the DVD. Okay.
The one that says DVD is the movie.
I think I'm gonna buy like the physical copy of this actually now that I've seen it, and like add that to my collection. Well, I don't have much of a collection at all. I only have 4 CDs. And that's Midnight Marauders by Tribe, Carter 3 by Lil Wayne.
You just got that, dude.
And then Graduation and My Beautiful Duchess of Fantasy by Kanye. I really want to get I'm gonna get the physical copy of Swish obviously when that drops. I might get fucking.
That was the song for me, man. At the time. How we do.
That's pretty dope. I want to get God's Son by Nas too.
Oh, that'd be a good one. And Dreams. Where's Dreams? That's one.
In your dreams come true. And I want you. Yeah, that's not off that. That's a Kanye song.
It says actually Kanye is on that song that I'm talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's Dreams right there.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's like old school Kanye production where he's more soulful.
Was it like 808s or was he actually rapping?
No, he wasn't rapping. Like he produced it. Oh, okay. He produced it, but it's like a signature, like early Kanye type beat. Like it's like super soulful kind of sample.
On it, yeah.
Yeah, it had. Like, I think it did. Yeah, it did actually. And
like blew your mind.
Yeah, it had like the old school drums, like from like those old soul songs. It was like definitely like a sample based beat. So it's a cool beat. I like that. That's probably like my favorite era of Kanye's beats. I like his soulful shit.
Me too, probably. I think I'm gonna download that album actually. Not download it, sorry, like buy it for sure.
You can borrow it.
I don't want to. I need it to be like my collection.
Yeah, whatever. Like, I usually listen to albums first and then buy them.
I never do that, man. Actually, I usually do that. Yeah. I guess I just like I download like leaked music the second it leaks though, and I have like websites I use to get them the second.
No, you don't. That's illegal.
Yeah. My bad. Sorry.
That was a PSA.
I was just staring at the mic instead of the camera, and I was trying to apologize, but I did not do that correctly. We're going for 44 minutes now.
Wow.
We're gonna need to close up pretty soon.
We're gonna have to end this off pretty soon.
Remainder of this bad boy.
Your voice is not like fucking doing anything there.
What? Really? Okay, it should be better now. I'm being pretty loud, aren't I?
Well, look at that.
I'm being pretty loud though.
Now it is.
Now I am.
Now you are.
See, you're so much louder than me. Like you can't do that shit. Guys, we're gonna end it here.
And I'm the one who's sick.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it wasn't too quiet for the entirety of the time. But we gotta go.
Hopefully our ghost stories didn't spook you out. Ooh.
Bye.
Peace out, motherfuckers. Conversation getting set up. Alex has had some cool. You've had some cool stories.
Yeah,
as far as
you have to go first though. Okay.
Spiritual stuff.
Yes, it isn't just like ghosts in general, I guess, because yours had like an orb or something.
Supernatural.
Yeah, supernatural, but you saw like an orb, not even like the fucking, like I forget what, like a figure ghost is called, but like like an apparition. Like
you call it apparition.
Yeah, most people see like apparitions, but you saw like a ball of light or something. It's dope.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't necessarily a ball of light. So story goes, this is after my grandmother died. I was probably like in grade 7 at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Grade 6, probably going into grade 7. And there's a bunch of people over at my house, so I wasn't the only person who witnessed it. There were some ladies in the kitchen. If you're in like this, like kind of like this microphone, and
so a blue snowball microphone. I'm really curious. The white ball.
Yeah, and it just moved around and like deflated a couple times and like popped back up, and yeah, and like we didn't touch it because initially it's like, oh, it's superstition, don't touch it, right? Like older people might take it as an actual experience or something like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't this little guy, but it looked like maybe it could have been a rat or a rabbit or something.
Really cool if it was actually a rabbit, though.
He wasn't around then, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience. It didn't really spook me out so much as interested me. It kept me curious, and you know, when you're a little bit younger, you want to believe that kind of stuff is real. Like I did see an orb, and it was an energy that moved around, and that's, I don't know, it could have been, could not have been. Memory, always new or Fijian. You know that when somebody passes away, like you probably don't know, but when somebody passes away, there's about like 2 weeks of like hardcore rituals and services being done at home, and it's day and night pretty much.
Shit.
It's every night, and then you prepare for it during the day, like every day for like 2 weeks.
It's a lot of time, man.
13 days, yeah, including a funeral and things like that as well. So this particular day, it's probably like the spring, so it wasn't necessarily a windy day or anything like that. One thing that we do is, because we do have services and like tons of people coming over, it's just like tradition that everyone sits on the floor. You know, like Indian style. Yeah. You know, on the floor with your legs crossed, that kind of thing. Like so
this,
pretty much like you, but on the floor. And
not on a couch.
Not on a couch, because we get rid of all the couches and we make space for everyone to sit on the floor. So this particular time, I mean, anytime people are sitting on the floor, we always put down like blankets, something better than rug to sit on. So we had this blanket laid out in the middle of the room. No one's on it. I'm sitting with my back against the wall, next to a window, about 2 feet or 3 feet away from this blanket. And me and like a grandmother type person, or great aunt, I guess it would be, was like there as well. And basically what we started to see was this little bubble come up in between or underneath the sheet. And just kind of like for about a minute and a half, it just kind of like moved around, and
like under the carpet,
not under the carpet, on the carpet underneath this blanket. It was like a really thin like bed sheet kind of blanket, and underneath there it was just like this little small bubble. What's up, guys? This is episode 2 officially now of the Get Much Higher podcast. It's just gonna be us kicking it, just hanging out. We're gonna have some cool conversations. What's up, Alex?
Nothing much,
what's
man.
going on, buddy?
We're actually finally filming this again after fucking last time. You guys probably saw the bloopers, and that was an adventure of kinds.
That was after some serious stuff, man. That was after some like stuff. Yeah. So we went through some emotional damage there first, and then we tried to dive into a podcast. We had so much fun that it wasn't even, I don't even think a real podcast. Well, it didn't end up being a real podcast, and luckily we ran out of memory space.
Yeah. I wouldn't say luckily, but like, yeah, for that.
I think that saved us.
Yeah, but okay, before we fucking get too off track though, I really want to talk about the fucking, we were just talking about ghost stories.
Yeah, just before we started recording, we were having a pretty intense